Hey there, crazy foxes! Welcome back to another episode of Just Build. I did a little bit of improvements. As you can see, I've added trees, I've added some rock formations. I think I've gotten better at the rocks, but I can't exactly quite tell completely, so let me know what you guys think about it. I added some little trees and flowers and rocks. I also went to the party palace and I added some more tables. I added a little bit more sandstone around the edges here. Like I said, I added more tables. And overall, I made the place pretty and, just look really, really nice. And I loved it. I love how the cherry blossoms just fall. It gives such a nice little effect. I wish it was a theme world so I could do that everywhere. But anyway, we have a very special build today, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the crazy builds and see what we could get this time. So it seems like we got, I believe, acacia planks. We got pressure plates, acacia form as well. We got seagrass, stripped birch wood, oak fence, gates, and I believe, I don't know what else. Pink banners, that's what I meant. I forgot we had pink banners, still had to think about it. I didn't even have to look at a list this time. I'm actually proud of myself. It's very impressive. I did not have to look at a list. This is another build I also incorporated where I actually got to use some of the furniture with the furniture add-on. I will admit, I genuinely, at first, I wasn't sure how I was going to make acacia and birch work, because I don't really work with acacia all that much. And I noticed that in my builds, I don't really go well with orange. I don't build orange very well, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I also added some mangrove trees in the back, if you guys saw that, over in the little tree area that I made. I figured it'd be a nice little bit of a different detail. So, I thought it was a nice little touch. But yeah, I eventually decided what I wanted to do, and I figured I could use all this to build a beach. Because I figured we've had enough desert theme items around for this build. I figured we could just try to stray from the desert a little bit. So I got creative and I decided to make a beach themed build this time. Because, like every anime, we have to have that one beach episode. But anyway, I started off by mining out a good portion of this area. Can't find the words today. But it took me so long because I kept getting distracted by the fact my boyfriend was once again playing Teen Titans in the background. I love him. I love him to death. But as you can see, I ended up pausing here to look at what was going on the screen. I'm pretty sure this was the haunted episode where, Robin has PTSD and he thinks he's fighting Slade and nobody else sees him. That episode always chilled me. It was the scariest episode of Teen Titans for me that I can remember from my head. But eventually I ended up finishing off this final bit of grass, and I decided I was going to start by laying down the sand. I wanted to do a deeper layer to make a water feature, and so I went ahead and I outlined where I wanted the top layer to be first and separate it from the bottom layer. And so I just filled that part up with sand. And I cannot tell you how long this build took me. This build took me at least a good hour and a half to make. This was at least a semi-big build for me. And I had to get very creative because I don't use acacia very often in my builds. Which I do want to start, making more builds. And I think I want to make a series where I make specifically themed builds, specifically a build based off of acacia, or builds based off of skulk, or builds based off of obsidian, or something like that. Something that would make it very interesting. Maybe make villages, or maybe make castles, or, make something that's themed to the block. I know we have acacia villages and all that junk, but I feel acacia villages just aren't, they're not, I don't know, it's they're not doing it for me, if that makes sense. I don't know what it is about acacia villages. Something about it is just I don't like it. But I was thinking about making a series where it would be specifically themed to a certain block, maybe it's just one block and we base it around that, or if we just want to make like a big village of different colored blocks. I don't know. Well, I would like to see what you guys think in the comments, because like I say all the time, your opinions always matter to me. I like to know what you guys would be interested in seeing, so please always let me know what you're interested in seeing in the comments. I would love to see some new ideas for the channel. I'm usually creative with ideas, but as of lately I've been struggling with some ideas. So if you guys have any ideas for any series that you would want to see, like survival series, creative series, just please let me know in the comments. I would love to know what you guys want to see. But back into the build, I started to dig into the bedrock level because I didn't add much to the flat world. I didn't want it to be too crazy. And so I dug to the bedrock level and I went and added sand. Eventually later I do add rock, and you see here I also try to make some of the wall partially sand because I also make it partially rock as well. I'm trying to get that ocean vibe, if that makes sense. Like I know you go to beaches and you're supposed to be by the ocean. This isn't exactly an ocean. And I don't even think I call it anything ocean related in the build. But regardless, I do think it's nice. I do love the ocean vibes. And I think because of the biome we're in, I think the water ends up being like kind of foggy when you go in. I'm not entirely sure. But basically this part took me the longest to do. It was the longest part I actually had in the entirety of the build, because like I said, we're here for brain rot and we just love filling holes in Minecraft. It took a while for me to do this. This probably took the most time, probably like a good 30 to 45 minutes, I want to say, just filling in the sand and digging it out and, you know, fixing up the wall, making sure there's no little oopsie daisies somewhere. But yeah, I eventually went ahead and I added bits of stone into the build because I wanted to do like a mix of like sand and stone, and I definitely do that more as I go through the wall. I try to like mix it up a bit, and you know, I try not to keep it in a consistent pattern if I can help it. So, you know, I'm trying different patterns, just trying to make it look as natural as I possibly can, and it does work for the most part. I feel like I definitely feel like it works. And then just for good measure, I also added a bits of stone in the bottom of the floor. Again, I just want to give it as much of a natural ocean look if I can. You know, just add rocks and stuff. Obviously, this pool wasn't big enough to add coral, but eventually I did add like the fan coral and stuff like that once I filled it in, of course. And here's me going through the process of filling everything in. And of course, I had to make sure this bottom layer was good before I went ahead and did the top layer. And as you can see, I missed a spot. I was building for a long time, and I forgot to do the edges, so I went ahead and did the edges real quick. And I filled in the rest of the water, so that way we could get ready and actually start, like, making the place look really pretty and stuff. So I went ahead, got some seagrass, got some kelp, and I went and got the different types of coral. I was going to use the fan coral as well, but I was like, that's going to be too much, I feel, like, with all the other coral that we have. Not to mention the seagrass and the kelp that's growing naturally. So I figured I'd just sprinkle in just the regular, like, the bubble coral and stuff. Because I thought it was colorful enough, like, all the blues and the yellows. They definitely looked good and made the water really light up. They definitely made it look lively. I don't think I added fish, from what I can remember, but I think I added the glow lichen. I believe that's how it's pronounced. At least I think. I don't know how most things are pronounced because I'm American and our system's kind of messed up with the alphabet. But back to the build, I tried to do something with the acacia. I was thinking maybe make like a little hut for the turtles to, you know, go in, but you know, people couldn't. But then I was like, wait a minute, what if I did something cooler? What if I made like a little like watch lifeguard tower type thing? And I thought that would look really cool. I tried putting the glass in the corners as well, but I feel that didn't look right, and so I just put the wood there. And you know, it's not meant to be like the most spacious build, especially for like that little bit. Their main thing is supposed to go to like the top of the watchtower, because you know it's a watchtower. You're supposed to see everything from there. It's kind of like just meant to be like a nice little way to see things. I went with a fence because I wasn't exactly sure what would look good, but I figured this would be a good substitute for now, and I could always just change the blocks later. And I kind of just stuck with a block roof because, I don't know, I felt that was the best. And it certainly turned out the best for this build because it does look really good. It's not meant to be like super fancy or anything like that. It's just meant to be like a simple little tower because, you know, it's a beach. It's simple. And then I finished off by closing off this little, like, I guess technically water elevator, because that's exactly what I did. I made a water elevator that's just incredibly slow and painful to use, which, I mean, is fine. It's a beach. It's not like we're in a rush to go anywhere. I thought it was looking a little bit lacking, though, and I wanted to get some, like, complementary blocks, so I thought stone would be the best thing. I also have been taught to use granite, which is a block I don't normally use. If you guys watch Smallish Beans, he actually uses, like, granite and diorite in a lot of his builds, actually, and I kind of wanted to incorporate that into some of my acacia builds. And right here, I was trying to figure out which stone block was best to use, and I figured stone bricks, because, I mean, you can never go wrong with stone bricks. It's like a classic. It's not too much. It's not too little. You know, it's like almost the perfect amount in a sense. I didn't add too much though because I just wanted it to be like an accent pillar, and so I went ahead and just added them mainly on the pillar parts, like the corners of the wall and up top of the tower. You know, I added some extra granite fences. Fences. I mean, extra granite fences to really just give it some kind of structural support. Even at the top, I went ahead and did that. It might look a little bit wonky near the top, but I think it looks alright. And then I thought, might as well complete the look and go with granite for the top as like the barrier. Because I thought, you know, we're gonna go granite, might as well go all the way, you know? And actually, I feel like it turned out decently good. Like, it definitely complements the acacia without being like too much or too little. I do like how the structure ended up turning out. I still wasn't sure what I was going to do with pressure plates. I thought I could do like a vanilla table, but then I'm like, no, I have furniture. I want to use the furniture. So I figured I'd make these like little bench areas for like, you know, couples to go sit at, and, you know, people who are visiting the beach, they come sit. And, you know, I was just kind of going through everything, seeing how everything looked, seeing how much I could actually, you know, fit in here without it being too much. Yeah, I think it turned out really well, actually. I didn't keep all the tables. I think I got rid of all the tables in the front, actually, once I realized how, you know, spacious it was. Because I was like, it's kind of taking up a lot of room. It was taking up a lot of room, so I had to figure something out. And I also wanted to add a little bit of plant life, but I didn't know how. It was a beach. So I figured I'd go ahead and add the acacia trees as like a way of, like, you know, they're able to get some shade. And, you know, it's better than using like tacky little umbrellas and all that. Because, I mean, what's like a better creative way for umbrellas than trees for shade? Like, I think that's such a creative way. And as you can see, I ended up needing a little bit more space in the back, so I went ahead and I dug up a little bit of extra space just to put some sand, because eventually I will end up putting a wall here. So I don't know if it was necessary, but I think I just wanted to give the beach area like a little bit of room to walk, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted to give like space so that, you know, it doesn't feel as if you're too enclosed. And I felt like it was necessary, considering, like, you know, you go to a water area that's enclosed and usually you're able to like walk all around it. And I wanted that feel to have that. And I didn't mind having this stone up there. I think it added like a nice little detail. I definitely could have added some stone buttons for like pebbles like around the water. I definitely should have done that. And eventually I went to try to make like a granite textured fence, like a custom one, if that makes sense. I was originally gonna add like trapdoors for like windows to see into it, but I didn't know if that was really tacky enough. I think I probably could have made it work if I used either the acacia or the bamboo trapdoors, perhaps. But I don't think it would have worked because it wouldn't have been, I guess, sensical, if that makes sense. Like, I know the whole purpose of the series is wacky build, so it doesn't have to make sense. But I don't know, I like it to make sense because, you know, if somebody ever wants to use my builds in a survival world, they want it to be tactical. And of course, everyone's more than welcome to use my builds in their survival worlds and, adjust in how they see fit. Everyone's more than welcome to do that. I have no issues. I love seeing that I can inspire everybody else. And even if that means taking some of my own builds for inspiration, or if you're just revamping any of my current builds, I genuinely love the idea of people taking my builds, revamping them. I like to see the stuff that I might have missed out on, and I like to see the stuff that people are able to come up with. So, if anyone wants to use any of my builds for survival, or just in general, and, if you guys feel like revamping it because it doesn't meet your style, you're more than welcome to adjust it to how you see fit. Just as long as you give credit, I'm cool with it. But as you can see, I went around and I added this polished granite wall, and I figured I wanted to give it a little bit of texture, so I added the regular granite blocks to give it almost like a cracked wall texture, because I thought it fit best. It's been here a while, some of the walls might be cracked, some parts might not look as good as the other. And I finally found a spot for the oak trapdoors, so I went ahead and I added those at the gate, because I wanted to add a little surprise for you guys in here. And I think it worked out really well. I ended up getting rid of this section because I had an idea for the pink banners, and I thought it would look really cool if we had a little drink stand. So I went ahead and made this weirdly misshapen drink stand. I don't know why. I don't know why it looks like this. Sorry for the yawn again, guys. I keep yawning in my videos. I have to stop. But yeah, I tried making this weirdly misshapen little drink stand. I don't know if it looks really good, but I think it looks decent. I also wanted to make it fancy, and I made the mistake of using terracotta like I always do. I wanted to make a cute little overhang type thing so that the person working the cart doesn't get hot and sweaty and stuff. And so I spent a good couple minutes just trying to figure out the terracotta pattern again, because I'm bad with terracotta patterns. And once I finished that overhang, I went and added the pink banners, and I got acacia trapdoors, put them down for the gate, made sure they were even, and then I went ahead and added pink banners to the sides of the corners, and let's make it look a little bit fancy. I also added the pressure plates on the little thing, the little drink cart, because I thought it looked nice. And then I also want to clear up a little bit more space, because I had another idea I could do with birchwood, because originally I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but then I had the best idea. And as you can see, you might guess what I'm making, but I'm making a sandcastle. I'm making a sandcastle out of stripped birchwood and sand, which is not the most ideal thing anyone has ever seen, but I mean, it works, and it makes it structurally sound too. Kids can come in and play, and I think it's cute. I like it, and it's a way to keep the sand up without it being, falling down and being too much sand. I then went ahead and went around adding some more acacia trees around the edge, just to give more plant life to the area, because, I want it to look nice. It's a beach. I think it should be allowed to look nice. And then I went ahead and I added some turtles. The first one I named was Coral, and then the second one I was going to name Seaman, because I don't know why. And Seaman ended up being tiny, which made it even more funny. It's like, if you guys seen Tiny Diamond from Trolls, it's incredibly funny for me. I eventually named this place the Turtle Pond, and I think it was entirely complete. I just needed to add some lighting, so I went ahead, grabbed some oak, and I cut the fence post, went ahead, put some lanterns on the trees, because, I figured this would be the cute, beautiful way to have, a nice little way to go, swimming at night. Because you know how the pools have, the really cute ambient lighting? I can't do that with glowberries here, but I figured I'd do it with the lanterns, and I think it looks really cool. And I added some lanterns as well on top of the watchtower, and I went ahead and made sure I added some inside here, and then I also wrote in the journal. That way we can memorize this wonderful build with all the wonderful blocks we use. eventually at this point I was like brain dead. I was trying to remember like what blocks I used. I was like, wait, what blocks did I use? But anyway, this is the image you guys will see for the build for the daytime, and as you see, when I turn it to midnight, this is what it looks like. And I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love this build. It worked out so much better than I originally thought it would. And honestly, it's really pretty. Like, I love how it turned out. I love that the turtles are just constantly spinning in a circle. It's great. It's beautiful. We love Coral. I don't know where Seaman is, but he's somewhere. But anyway, guys, that is going to be all for this episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what kind of series you guys want to see me do in my future content. I would love to hear your opinions. Make sure you also leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, I will see you guys in the Fox Den. Bye-bye, everyone!